Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to the Kordial Media YouTube channel. My name is Adriana and I help Shopify e-commerce businesses and influencers drive traffic and sales utilizing Pinterest. Today's video is all about how to optimize your Pinterest ads creatives and understanding exactly what you need to do for your next creative refresh on your Pinterest ads. But before we dive in, don't forget to hit the big red subscribe button and to hit the bell to be notified every single time I post a new video here on the Kordial Media YouTube channel. Without further ado, let's dive into the video. All right, so you've been running your Pinterest ads for a few weeks, maybe a few months. It's time to look at your creatives and what the data says. Where do you start? So the first place you want to start is to actually look at the Pinterest ads dashboard. The data you want to look at is the CTR. You want to see if it's above a 1%. You want to look at if you're getting add to carts and or sales from that creative. You want to look at if it's getting saves. Does it have more or less impressions than the other creatives? You also want to look at maybe CPM or CPA, depending on what your goals are. But those are the main data points that I would look at for your creative to judge whether or not it's a creative worth turning off or a creative worth learning from overall. So if, for example, you're getting a high CTR, you're getting add to carts, you're getting good sales from this one creative, then it's safe to assume that that creative is very successful and resonating with your Pinterest audience. If you have a creative resonating with your Pinterest audience, then you want to look at that creative and try to understand what it is about it that is making the difference in terms of sales or just data points in general versus the other creatives that you're running in that campaign. Is it perhaps the verbiage that's really interesting? Is it the image that's inspiring? Is it because the product is super clear cut on the ad and pinners have no problems understanding exactly what your product can do and what it can do for them? Is it that there's like something fun on it that's different? Does it stand out in the feed? Is it something that the algorithm is really resonating with or able to push out? Is it lifestyle? Is it this? Is it that? So you have to ask yourself all of these questions to really understand and break down what it is about that one creative that's outperforming the others. And these are the learnings that you then want to track and keep in mind for your next creative refresh. The next step would be to think about your ideal buyer and what they would want to see exactly. So this is great for somebody whose creatives did not perform very well in the first batch. You have to try and understand why your ideal buyer is not resonating with the creatives that you've launched and what they would prefer to see instead. If you start to break down exactly what they would prefer to see, then you probably will understand as to why your first batch of creatives didn't resonate and didn't get sales and didn't get the conversions you're after, but in turn give your next batch of creative a much better chance of performing. Your third step to auditing and understanding and optimizing your creatives would actually be to brainstorm with other creative people, whether they'd be on your team or somebody who runs a similar business to you or just in a similar industry to you. Picking at somebody else's brain and kind of just getting somebody else's perspective can actually give you a lot of insight and can really help you level up your creatives as a result. I do this myself. I actually brainstorm with about 4 people on my team pretty much weekly on how to level up creatives for every single one of our clients. What's great about brainstorming with 4 or 3 other people is that we all come from different backgrounds and we all have different experiences that also contribute to our brainstorm session. And I find that the best creatives actually come out of these brainstorm sessions because we get to see so many different perspectives and we get to also really marry a variety of different aspects that could be very performant for a new batch of creatives for a client. So brainstorming is highly recommended here. It's really hard to do things alone and creative design is no exception there. Step number 4 would be to incorporate seasonality and Pinterest moments within your creative ad strategy for your Pinterest ads. The reason why you want to do this is because Pinterest is so moment focused most of the year that if you miss out on a very important moment for your brand or your niche, you actually don't give your ads their best chances of performing. So now that it's the winter time, for example, utilizing winter creatives, winter verbiage, maybe planning ahead for big moments like Easter coming up or President's Day. Planning for these moments for your clients or your own ads would actually give your creatives a leg up. They would give your content its best chance of performance and would probably improve sales over time because Pinterest and pinners are so seasonality and moment focused. So that should be a big part of your creative strategy every time you look at refreshing your creatives on Pinterest, is incorporating the trends, the moments, the seasonality. And you can use the trends tool to help you do this. It's just trends.pinterest.com. If you're also wondering how to optimize your Pinterest ads without necessarily only looking at creatives, you can download my free guide in the description box below. It offers different scenarios on how you can optimize and what you can do depending on the data you're seeing. Step number 6 when it comes to optimizing your Pinterest ads creatives is to then come up with headlines and images that reflect all the learnings that you took from analyzing your data points and also brainstorming with other people. Once you go ahead and create those new designs with the beautiful new images that you chose and the optimized headlines that you've written, you're probably going to see a much better success rate with your new Pinterest ads launch because you actually took the time to break everything down and present something to your pinners that was much more thoughtful and in line with exactly what they would be looking for. Step number 7 is to also incorporate all of the Pinterest best practices on your creatives. This is really important because Pinterest tends to promote or push a creative that's more in line with what they're looking for than a creative that's obviously not. The algorithm itself, I mean, aside from your Pinterest audience. And so some of the Pinterest best practices include using a lifestyle image, engaging text overlay, a call to action, your logo, and other things of the sort. I have a full video on how to design creatives for ads, which I will link in the description box below as well for you to check out. Step number 7 is once you've launched your new batch of creatives, to write yourself a reminder in 14 days time to go and check the learnings of these new creatives again. Once you have more learnings, that's when you can really understand whether or not your brainstorm session and the optimizing that you did was effective or wasn't effective. I would do this after the 14-day mark and then once again after the 30-day mark to look at your learnings on your new creatives, because it does take time for the algorithm to push out your new creatives and to get proper learnings. And so allocating that time also plays a huge role in optimizing your ads long term. If you're looking for an expert like myself to look over your Pinterest ads, feel free to book a meeting with me. It's totally free. My calendar will be in the description box below. You and I hop on a call, we chat about your Pinterest account, and we see if we're a good fit to work together. If you have a comment or question about anything I mentioned in today's video, you're welcome to write it as well in the comment box below. And on that note, I'm going to wish you a lovely rest of your day, and we'll chat in the next video. Bye for now.